Oh, okay.
Okay. Um, Hello. Today we'll be discussing one of the most controversial topics in the horse industry, and that's horse slaughter. This issue raises questions about animal welfare, economics, and responsible horse ownership. I'll begin by presenting the main arguments supporters make in favor of horse slaughter, and then my partner will discuss the arguments against it. Finally, we'll summarize both perspectives. Slide one. Why is horse slaughter so controversial? Before discussing the pros and cons, it's important to understand why this topic is so controversial. Horse slaughter is one of the most debated issues in the equine industry because people have very different views on the role of horses. In the United States, many people see horses as companions, athletes, or family members. However, in other parts of the world, horse meat is a normal part of the diet. Because of these different perspectives, opinions on horse slaughter vary greatly. Supporters believe it offers a practical solution for unwanted horses, while opponents believe it raises important ethical and animal welfare concerns. In this presentation, we're going to take a look at both sides. Pro one, an option for unwanted horses. The first argument supporters make is that horse slaughter provides an option for unwanted horses. Horses may become unwanted because they're older, injured, have behavioral problems, or because their owners can no longer afford to care for them. Owning a horse is expensive, with costs for feed, veterinary care, farrier services, and boarding adding up quickly. Supporters argue that while adoption and rescue organizations are important, they cannot accommodate every horse. They believe horse slaughter offers another option when rehoming is not possible and may help reduce cases of neglect, abandonment, and starvation. Pro two, economic benefits. The second argument supporters make is based on economics. Horses that are too old, injured, or no longer suitable for riding or breeding often have little or no value in the traditional horse market. Supporters argue that horse slaughter creates another market for these horses because they can be sold for processing in countries where horse meat is legally consumed. This allows owners to recover some financial value rather than paying only for years of continued care. Supporters also argue that horse slaughter supports businesses involved in transportation, processing, and other parts of the equine industry in places where the practice is legal. Pro three, a humane alternative to neglect. The final argument supporters make is that horse slaughter can be a more humane alternative than prolonged neglect or suffering. Not every horse owner has the financial resources to care for an aging or severely injured horse for the rest of its life, and rescue organizations often have limited space and funding. Supporters argue that when all other options have been exhausted, a regulated slaughter process may prevent horses from experiencing neglect, abandonment, or prolonged suffering. They believe that in certain situations, it can provide a more humane end of life option than allowing a horse's condition to continue to deteriorate. And now Kylie will show you guys the cons.
Okay, so the first con is that there are significant animal welfare concerns. Horses are known to naturally be pretty like prey animals, meaning like they just naturally get super stressed or like overwhelmed. And they get especially stressed in very unfamiliar situations. And in like the slaughtering process, they're gonna experience long distances and like riding on trailers and stuff, and they can be so crowded that they're super prone to injuries just because they don't have like the right amount of room to move around in. And then they also could go without food or water or a rest for a very long time. And they also can have fear caused by like unfamiliar noises, smells, and also the handlers that are handling them. So yeah, just a lot of concerns on animal welfare. And another one is that horses are not raised to be food animals. They're raised to be companions and for sports and to be working horses, and they are not meant for human consumption. And throughout their entire lives, many horses receive many medications that are not approved for animals that you would normally eat, like cows, pigs, stuff like that. And those include pain relievers, anti-inflammatory drugs, dewormers, and performance-enhancing medications that just, so none of those are really healthy for humans to consume. And then the third one is it may not reduce neglect. People often argue that slaughter prevents neglect, um, and they argue that it results from irresponsible ownership rather than a lack of slaughter options. And also, like something that could help is like better education, more affordable euthanization, and then a stronger animal welfare laws that address the neglect more effectively. And then also, even in places where slaughter has been available, and cases of abandonment and neglect still have occurred. So yeah, it just wouldn't really benefit it. And then kind of wrapping everything up, horse slaughter basically is just a super complicated issue with strong, very strong arguments on both sides. But ultimately, the debate just comes down to you're balancing the practical concerns. And as communities continue to address the issue, it's important to consider both the welfare of the horses and the responsibility of humans to provide them with humane and care throughout their lives. So it just kind of comes down to your personal opinion, I guess. So. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we taught you a little something. So, okay,
All
bye.
right. I think that was good.